Bull or bear? I'm rolling a 1986 Statue of Liberty commemorative U.S. dollar coin. And she comes up a bull. Let's see what happens tonight in the opening markets. Got the live Deerfield cam up here. What a beautiful day it is, too. Mini lobster season out here, so we had a lot of boats out there and people out looking for our Florida lobsters, which was pretty cool. Beautiful day as well. Really hot, though. And what a week it has been. Last night, just think about last night, historic as far as, in my lifespan. I think I've seen that happen once. It was with Reagan. I think a lot of you guys have seen, maybe some of you older folks, a little bit older than me, saw it with JFK as well. But man, just scary stuff, and what a strange environment we're in. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to go over a few other things. First, let's get the markets out of the way here real quick and talk about spot prices, closing spot prices. Man, there's so many other cool things to talk about here as well. 2411, 3081. We saw 3150. We've seen 2418. And platinum at $1,000. Man, summertime markets like this is really, really odd for us to be seeing this kind of activity and strength this time of year. And again, some of you guys out there that want to check the data, you can check it for me. But typically, we're quiet now. And but here we are. Here we are again, coming up on record highs on gold, and year-long, highs on multi-year long highs on silver right now at 3081, and platinum hanging on to that $1,000 mark. Why is that? Well, we're going to talk about something here that was brought up by Vince at VBL. He's one of the gentlemen I like to listen to his podcast, and one of his friends, I forget what the gentleman's name, Oriental Ghost is his name on Twitter, or X, I guess now, X. But we're going to get into the moment. But they brought up some very, very, big news. I mean, if it wasn't for last night's big news, I think for as far as precious metals goes, this would really be circulating by now. About JPM and maybe getting caught with their pants down. What Ted Butler said that his lifelong friend that he started in the commodities trading business with, Izzy, told him was a full pants down moment. When the bullion banks get caught with their pants fully down, not being able to exit positions and stuff. But we're going to get into that in a few moments, and I'll show you a couple things. And then we're going to talk a little bit about last night's, last night's just like historic, near tragedy, I guess. I mean, this was just crazy. What a long, strange trip this has been, and it ain't even ended yet. Let's first get into best deals out there. I want to knock this out real quick as far as what the best deals at these current gold and silver prices are, folks. 90% constitutional silver for some of you at $1.50 over. Don't be paying more than $1.50 over on 90% silver. As far as other silver products, I'm just still blown away that the premium on, and it has a lot to do with higher gold and silver prices here, that we're looking at right here. This is the reason that, a lot of the people that were kind of cost average buying, they're waiting for things to back off a little bit, but I think they're starting to realize that, we may not see a big back off here. I don't think we're going to see $25 silver again, just like when I told you I didn't think we were going to see 20 again anytime in the near future, unless they revalue dollars and make them worth a lot more than they are. Poor platinum just staying where it's at. And again, gold. I think a lot of people are just nervous at buying these higher levels. This is the reason that, and there isn't a huge amount of physical stackers in the United States. I've discussed this before. So there's a limited amount of buyers out there, and has been for decades when it comes to physical precious metals. Most people's exposure to gold and silver is if they were lucky enough to have their brokers or their fund put some money into SLV or GLD or something like that. That's most people's exposure to precious metals. So it's not a surprise to me that the premiums on 90% 100-ounce bars, 1-ounce rounds, 10-ounce bars, and Krugerrands and Maple Leafs and Eagles and all this stuff to be down substantially. But as I said, take advantage of it. If you've still got money that you want to throw at this gold and silver, the premiums are certainly cheap enough. There's no good excuse not to with the premiums where they currently are. Now, with gold and silver prices a little bit higher and platinum prices higher, I mean, I can see why that might, again, make some people afraid to pull the trigger at these current levels, trying to figure out what direction we're going. My personal opinion is that, yeah, you're going to see some fluctuations. We may see some lower prices in here, but overall, the trend is upwards. If you think you're going to buy it cheaper here, and you do, good on you. But it's anyone's guess at this point, especially with the scenarios going on with what happened last night with the T-Man almost getting checked out there, and overall with the news from last week that the current person in charge of this country is really not there anymore. So I mean, really, folks, what a power-packed week when it comes to news. And what does this have to do with the price of gold and silver? Well, I'll tell you what I think it's going to have to do with the price of gold and silver, according to what happened last night with the near tragedy, and what happened last week, what we discussed about the Walking Dead. By the way, that was one of my lowest video counts ever. Go figure. I think it has something to do with algos catching what I was talking about last week, which is why I'm talking a little cryptically right now, more than I normally do. But I just kind of laid it on the line last week's video, and boy, man, I got crushed as far as views and the output there. And definitely, there are algos out there that'll crush your videos for sure if they don't like what you're talking about. And I think I did last week, but no less. Check it out if you like. All right, so market prices right here, very strong for this time of year. And again, best deals out there. Everything pretty much, although except for Silver Eagles. God, some of you must think I hate Silver Eagles. I don't hate Silver Eagles. The problem with Silver Eagles is just they're overpriced, So Silver Eagles are still overpriced. And I mean, if you're buying them, don't pay more than spot plus $5 per coin. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, $5 over is way too much anyway. When you can buy Constitutional 90 at like spot plus $1.50, or you can buy most of the generic ones, 10s, and 100s at less than spot plus $2 for the most part. And a lot of the stuff at $1.50 over, and I'm not even talking large quantities. And by the way, if you're looking for gold, silver, and platinum, please check me out. I'm Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. Oh, here, I'll go back to there we go, right there. We're in Lauderdale by the Sea. We are brick and mortar. We do not do online sales, so I don't have a website. You can click a button and play with a credit card. But even better, though, I am a local brick and mortar. You can talk to us face and face. And if you're looking to buy any quantities of gold, silver, and platinum, I will beat all the locals down here in South Florida. I will also beat all the big boys online, AppMax, SD, JM, and the other guys. I'll beat their prices as well. All right, done with my advertising here. Where are we going with this? Best deals again. So stay away from Silver Eagles. As far as gold products go, 1 ounce Eagles, Eagles are very reasonably priced right now. Not terrible, considering they were like $250 over $225 at the height of the craziness when supply wasn't meeting demand for a little while in precious metals. And hang on a second, you shouldn't be paying more than $120 over for Eagles. And again, I don't usually advise buying gold Eagles, but KRs like spot plus 80 or $85, don't pay more than that. Maple Leafs are probably in that same range as Krugerrands. Yeah, maybe spot plus $85. So across the board, they're really, the premiums are really good on all this stuff. So if you got some money and you think this market's going higher, well, I don't think there's any better time to pull the trigger than now, folks. That's just my opinion. Of course, let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, let's move into. We got best deals done. That's pretty much it. There you go. Teflon Dawn. Missed me MF'rs, and that's pretty much, most of you are not sure, and I thought about this. Obviously that's his first name, but it's kind of true. It's just everything kind of is slid off him. He's managed to slide by all this stuff, and last night in particular, I mean, talk about close. I mean, look at that, And what has this got to do with the price of gold, silver, and platinum? Well, here's where I'm going with this. I believe that last night, pretty much, last week with the other guy, the blue guy. I'm going to call the blue guy the red guy. Last week with the blue guy, between that and last night, I mean, he's a shoo-in. He's unless, if he can manage to stay above ground and not put his foot in the mouth. I mean, this is definitely the President of the United States again, in my humble opinion. Now, I want to remind you folks, I have never, ever voted Republican. I have never voted Democrat for a presidential race. I'm a libertarian, old school, OG libertarian from way, way back. And again, presidential tickets, I usually vote the Libertarian Party, or that's it. But this year, the Libertarian Party has really let me down. They're so immature. I mean, I'm hoping they grow up sometime soon. But the philosophy and the party itself and the old school libertarians are fine, in my opinion. But the new group that's been running it is just a bunch of immature idiots. Again, that's just my opinion. I mean, how could they come any closer to getting the whole country to support this man? I mean, really, it's almost like that there's some campaign, even by the Blue Party, to put him in office. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe there's going to be an alien invasion and an economic collapse at the same time, and next year or something like that, and they just don't want to be attached to that. But that's the unlikely story. Just the sheer incompetence involved in government, and, both parties. But no less, again, I don't want to get too far offline because we're talking about gold and silver. And one of the comments there that I've heard out there is, and again, I believe this 100%. I believe that he's a lock. He is a lock for winning. Okay, I can't, again, providing he can manage not to be, not to have what happened last night, and also providing, again, he just doesn't say something horrific. And trust me, there's AI out there, and a lot of things as well. And again, we don't know what's out there, but I'm pretty much saying that he's a shoo-in. And then there's a lot of folks saying, well, now that Donald, now that he's probably more than likely going to be the person in charge upcoming next year, not this person right here. Now that, again, that picture alone, this little video right here alone, miss me, that it just blew up the amount of people that are going to vote for him in such a dramatic way. So, so again, the talk has been, what's this got to do with gold and silver? I know I'm rambling here a little bit, a lot of people are rambling after what they saw last night, but a lot of the talk out there is, he's a shoo-in, he's going to win, and that being the case, that gold and silver are probably going to go down in value, or that's going to, taper the gold and silver market. Folks, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that anything, I don't believe that him winning, I don't actually believe that there's actually anybody out there that could actually win the race and reverse the severe economic and the severe political and social issues that have been created over the last few decades and longer, okay? This is slowly coming to a boil. We are at that, almost at that boiling point where the pot starts to boil over the top, is what we're seeing here. That's a good sign of it right there, when you see this kind of stuff happen like it did last night. Where was I going with that? Again, what is such a crazy day and a crazy night for all of us. But I believe that the economic, political, social situation is really effed. All right, and I'm not throwing in the F-bombs today. All right, that he's not going to be able to fix that. I don't think there's any candidate out there that could fix that. The only candidate that I think if we could knock 10 or 15 years off him is to bring back Ron Paul. But, he's at that age too right now, probably do a better job, in my opinion, than either one of these gentlemen. But, he's, as you know, I'm a Ron Paul guy from way back. But that's the only guy I think, and I don't think he would fix it. I think that he might be able to stem the bleeding somewhat. But, I believe that based on what we're seeing economically, folks, and the amount of money that we're printing and the weaponization of the dollar and all this awful bad stuff that we've seen, that when this man wins, and I said it, he's going to win. When this man wins, it ain't going to make a big difference. And what does it have to do with the price of gold, silver, and platinum, folks? Well, it's going to continue to climb. He's not going to be able to save this economy. I don't think he's going to be able to save us politically, economically, or socially, and culturally, definitely not. But I don't believe he's going to be at all. Now, would the blue guy that's currently doesn't know where he's at, does the blue guy, could he? No, he'd do far worse. So I'm not, boy, I hate to get into that lesser evil argument, but it definitely is a lesser evil. But trust me, folks, he's not fixing anything. You know what I mean? I don't think he has the capability, the ability, the money, the time, and the resources and the money. I think we are irrevocably broken as a country right now. And I don't see him as being the ultimate uniter either. All right, we'll see what happens when he gets in office. So I don't think that magically when he gets in office, and he will, I just know this now, again, providing he can stay dry in the dry air, and this doesn't happen again, and he's able not to really put his foot in his mouth in any way, I think, which I don't think is going to happen. There's your next president right there, folks. And he's not going to be able to fix what's going to happen. We are still going to continue to have these severe economic problems, which again leads me to believe maybe there's a concentrated effort within the deep state. Now there goes the big conspiratorial word, deep state, to pass the buck and not let the DNC party be the holder of what's coming up in the near future here. When I really believe that. Maybe just let the thing fall on his term, or maybe that's the prevailing thinking right now. Again, bit conspiratorial on my part, but there we go. All right, there's your next POTUS, I believe, for sure. All right, let's get into what I was talking about earlier, or what I was referring to earlier with the JPM. All of us know that JPM has been in big issues. And I got to give a lot of credit to VBL's Ghost, which is Vince at SoarThink on Twitter or X. If you don't follow him, you should definitely follow him. And a friend of his at Oriental Ghost. I'll see if I can. Bai Zhang, I think it is, Bai Zhang. And forgive me if I butchered that name. Have brought some very pertinent information up here. Now, of course, you all know that, a lot of you accuse me of having a man crush on Ted Butler, which is, I had a man crush on Ted Butler's data, his research, and his adamant belief and understanding of how these markets are manipulated. And of course, Ted Butler was called conspiratorial, conspiracies, the markets aren't rigged, and that's not true, it's all natural, it's all organic, and if there is any rigging, it's such a small level. Well, we know all that's bullshit. This particular man right here under JPM, or JPM under this man, suffered a $920 million fine for spoofing gold and silver markets, which vindicated Ted Butler, and a lot of us that were saying that Ted Butler primarily, but a lot of us for decades that were saying that these commercial banks, these bullion banks, have been manipulating markets. Now, Ted Butler described in his newsletters many times that he felt the bullion banks, after $20 plus silver, $25 plus silver, I believe, and gold being gold making that leap from $1,800, $1,900, $2,000 mark, that the bullion banks were in big problems with their short positions. And I believe Ted Butler was right on that. He really did great investigative work on the COT reports and other things, but I believe he's spot on with that. So Ted Butler said a while back ago that and Bank of America is one of the big ones. Now, BOA, I've been talking about this a little while. Ted Butler says that JPM leased Bank of America physical to the point of almost 1 billion ounces of silver and 25 million ounces of gold, which BOA may still be on the hook for, but we don't know the specifics of that deal, as my friend Vince pointed out to me. But folks, precious metals, once again, and I'm in the camp that believes, like Ted Butler did, and some people do, that the silver short position was a straw that broke the camel's back with Lehman Brothers, because they had a huge short position in silver, which JPM, funny enough, took over later. But what has that got to do with everything now? Well, BBL and his buddy there, and we'll get to that, Bai Zhang, again, excuse me, have said that JPM has been in a huge losing short position. Again, what I was talking about with Ted Butler, the pants down situation, full pants down, which means that they didn't cover the positions. Ted Butler was under the belief, and I believe he was a bit naive at sometimes, that, and I'm digressing again here, that government regulatory agencies, which Ted Butler frequently talked to his congressmen and had them write, wrote letters to the CFTC, wrote letters to the Department of Justice about all these issues and about BOA and these huge derivative short positions that all these bullion banks had with precious metals. And they ignored them. But again, I believe Ted Butler has been vindicated on this. And boy, it's easy to get sidetracked on this. Again, here we are. Here we are again. What looks like a full pants down moment. That JPM more than likely has gotten hurt from this upside. And what was the cause of it? This is really where we're going here. Well, the cause was what I think they referred to as the equivalent to the Hunt brothers, some Chinese commodity traders or futures traders, I think they are. I wasn't quite sure what they are. Commodities traders that were similar to the bunks, and just kept adding long positions. But anyway, guess what? The speculation out there is that JPM has been hurt pretty badly by this, and JPM, chances are that goes down the line with JPM's customers or people that they work with, that they've opened short positions. So, this didn't make any kind of financial news, and I've got to give a lot of credit to, again, read more about this at BBL's Ghost. He's on Twitter, or X, I should call it. I don't want to call it Twitter anymore because the people that owned it were twits. And Oriental Ghost, which I'm going to go to right here. Interesting gentleman. And, here you go, BBL's Ghost. Here's the morning rundown. Let me see if I can click that. I don't know if he's actually got anything we can listen to. No, that's just, all right, that's not the link to it itself. But Vince has his podcast there, which you should take a listen to about this. The Chinese Hunt brothers take on JP Morgan, and they win. So we haven't heard about how much JP Morgan has lost or whether it's their customers have lost. And, quite frankly, we still don't know about that 100 or that, what is it, almost 1 billion ounces of silver and 25 million ounces of gold owed to JPM from BOA. And with these prices higher, this could be a bank explosion, folks. It really could. Now, according to these gentlemen right here, it's possible that if this being the case, that JP Morgan might have been secretly bailed out last week, or when this did happen, by Bank of International Settlements or somebody, which is possible. But man, this is like really, and again, it explains why we are actually looking at higher gold and silver prices right now in the face of these manipulative commercial banks that have always banned gold, silver, and precious, and gold, silver, and platinum, but especially gold and silver, and especially silver. But it seems to me that these Chinese Hunt brothers, let's call them, and again, there's a name for the company, and I didn't want to go into details. I really encourage you guys to read this, but this may very well explain what's going on, and it may also be the, we could see some really big bank issues coming up because of this kind of thing. Let's just see where gold, silver, and platinum goes. If it keeps going higher and they still own these short positions, they could get slaughtered even worse. And I still believe that BOA short, or that BOA physical that they owe JPM, I don't know if they've ever been paid back. I'd sure like to hear the details on that. But again, these agreements between Bank of America and JPM, as I've been told, are secret. So we really don't know what these agreements are. But I believe that there are some huge shortfalls, and there's some big problems out there, folks. Trust me, and I think we're going to continue to see gold and silver and platinum rise up dramatically because of that. And I don't believe that the last night's event and this gentleman definitely going to win is going to significantly impact the price of gold, silver at all, in the downward motion at all. I think we're going to continue to see higher gold and silver platinums, no matter who wins. If by some weird chance that something happens with this, with the red man here, and the blue man gets in, just look at, gold and silver prices will even be more accelerated to the upside. But again, folks, I don't think we're going to see any kind of slowing down per se of prices of the precious metals. I think he's inheriting a really big mess. I also think that, as I put here, Bank of America is in big trouble. My opinion, and Ted Butler's opinion, and J.P. Morgan, apparently, according to some of the news that we're reading out here, just took a huge hit and may have been secretly bailed out. What does this mean for the price of gold and silver? Keep stacking, folks. That's just my opinion. All right. Well, last week's video, gold, silver, and the walking. Man, I got whacked on views. I mean, the first title actually had the blue man's name in it, and in 5 hours I had literally no views. But the second video really got no views. I took the blue man's name out of the title and got very little views at all too, as well. Again, I know, because we can look and see what we typically get and all this stuff. I am dead certain that the algos kind of said no, we don't want that video being showed. But I'd like to appreciate the few people that did see it. And thanks for watching. And if you didn't get a chance to watch it, take a look, and you can see what I said, and the reason why I think the video had such low view count. All right, hey, thanks folks for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And as I always say, think for yourself and question authority. And that's it, man. Exciting times. It's a strange world we live in right now. Well, listen, if you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum in any amounts, let me know. Here at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals, we're a brick and mortar here in South Florida. We'll beat all the locals, and we'll beat the online guys, SD, JM, and APMEX, and all the other guys out there. All the good people, too. And so that's it, folks. Let's hope that we have a little bit calmer week this weekend. We'll see where we're going with this. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.